Hello guys, this is Rahul Mehra. How are you doing? So today I'm showing you the simple Flask application that contain all the CRUD operation: create, read, execute, delete, right? Update. These are the following operation that it has. So I've already created that application, to do application. Let me go through the folder of it. So source folder, right? It contain all the source code that related to that application. Then we have test here. So I've created the test cases for this application using PyTest, right? So we will go through all this file later. And config, that is for the PyTest environment. Docker file, actually that is we gonna use for creating the Docker service file. Docker file for creating the image, right? And these are the dependency we are looking at. So I'm not using virtual environment here, but it is better to use the create our project inside the virtual environment. So once when you start creating this project for the live, so better you can go with the virtual environment. So let me go through the directory that we have inside the source folder here. API. API, it contains two files. First is, this is for in this file actually I've created all the REST APIs that this folder has. Web endpoint, actually this is the route that we gonna call from the browser to display all this data on the UI, right? Using HTML template. Now common, actually it contain all the util functionality as well as the constants that we gonna use in our application, right? Like the response messages. Now we have database. So here actually I created one dummy dictionary based database. So once when you start using this, creating this application in the real project, you should replace this dummy database from the actual one, like Mongo, Flask, Mongo, PostgreSQL, MySQL, whatever database you gonna use in your real project, right? Now server, actually this is, it has two files. One is the app config, that is for configuring port, host, development, debug level, right? Whether it is development or production, right? Environment of the application that we gonna set up inside this app config file. App server file, actually this is for configuring the directory, static folder directory, template directory, where it will look for the HTML files, right, to display on the browser, secret key, API, what is the name of project, and all this thing description, right, and how it is run. So this is the app related configuration, right, that is written inside the server. Now service file, this has all the functions those being called from the endpoints or route functionality APIs, right? So this is the service file. Now template actually it contain all the web application related data like HTML code, or external files, CSS styling file, JS file, right? Those are written inside the templates. And application, right? App.py, this is the starting point of our application, Flask application. So let me show you, let me start this our application here. So let's go inside the source directory. Here we need to run app.py. You can see here our application is started on this URL, right? Application. So this is our application, right? So let me first go to the go show you the Swagger UI that we created for our application. So if you go inside this app.config file, right? So here you can see in the development environment, we have configured our Swagger URL as a api.swagger, right? So that's why we are able to access our Swagger UI on this endpoint. So it has our model content. These are the expected field from the Swagger UI: task and date time, right? 5 rest, API I've created. Let me show you all these APIs. That this is the APIs, right? So this is the following expected model fields from the Sawyer UI, right? So let me show you first API v1 task. Actually, this is the class, this endpoint I've created to get all the tasks as well as adding new tasks in the to-do list, right? So for getting the task, right? So this is the API. If let me try it out. So by default, I've added 5 tasks in the to-do list. So you can see here five tasks that we have. So this is the API for getting all the fetching all the tasks from the database, right? So it has one function, get all the tasks, that is written inside the service file. So it will just what it will do, it will just retrieve all the tasks from the to-do list, right? To-do list is just a copy of the database that we created and returning all the record that it has inside the to-do one, right? In the get API. Now there is one more API, the API that is the post API. So inside that same there is a second API that is post API. So let me try it with adding a new record. So here I'm adding a new record. Let call it demo task. Right? And keeping the take time same and execute. So you can see a message, right? Task added successfully. So if you go, let me retrieve all the task now after adding this new record. So it should have 6 record now. Yeah. So 6 one is added now with the ID of 6 because this is the new ID of that record, right? Let me show you the code of this post API. First, it is getting all the request data that coming inside the request payload as a JSON object. Then I'm passing that required data inside the add task function that is written inside the service file. Here, I'm getting the new ID of that record that we need to add. So as of now, we initialize this application with 5 record. So that's why it return the ID as a 6, and I'm adding this initializing payload with ID as 6 and inserting that inside the database. This is how actually it adding new record. So let me go through all other APIs that we have inside second class. So this is the new endpoint that I created that is based on the any ID of record, right? It is on the task level. So first API is the get API to fetch any specific task from the database, right? So this is here. So here for trying it out, here we need to pass which record we want to retrieve. Let me retrieve a task with ID 4. So you can see here, right? It returned the record task that has ID 4. So this is the get API. So what we are doing here, we are just passing the task ID in the URL that we are accessing, passing is it inside the get task function. It will filtering out that task against this ID and return that task. So this is the get API. Now what? Now what if we want to update any existing record? So for this, actually I've created a API, put API. So let me try it out. So here we need to pass the task ID. Let me updating the task with ID 6 that we recently added. I am updating the task update. I am updating the name of task. I've executed. So here is the response, task updated successfully. Let me retrieve all the task again now to check whether it is updated or not. So demo task update. This is the name I think we passed. Or check. Yeah, demo task update. So now task is updated. So actually this is also difference between post API and put API, that if we want to create a new record, we can use the post API. If we want to update any existing record partially or completely, then we gonna for the put API. So this is the difference between post and put API as well. Now there is a one and last API that is the delete API. This is for deleting any record with the ID. So let me delete the record. a record that having ID 1, executing it. So you can see a message, right? Task deleted successfully. Let me retrieve all the task again. So you can see here, right? There is a no record with ID 1. So it is deleted. So these are the fault API, REST API that I've created. Let me also show you the code that written inside delete API. So this is the function. What it is doing, first it taking the count of total records. So currently we were having 6 record, right? After deleting a task with ID 1, I am again getting the count of records inside the DB. Now it is 5, right? Because one record is deleted. So I am verifying whether record is deleted or not. If it is not matching here, 6 not equal to 5, right? So that's why it's returning true. And if it is returning 2 here, so I'm making sure, yeah, it is deleted now and returning the task deleted successfully. Otherwise I'm returning the invalid task ID. In case if we pass any invalid task ID, that is not available inside the database. So this is how actually it is handling all the REST API. Now let's move on to the web endpoints. So web endpoints, actually it is a route that we're gonna call from the browser. So guys, this is our web application. So from here we can perform the CRUD operation on our to-do application. So let me add a new record in the database first. So let me call it dummy record or dummy task. Select any date that you want and click on save. Right. So you can see here dummy task is added now. What if we let's suppose once on the date it is completed, so we can also update. Let me update the name here. Dummy task update. Also I'm changing date and marking is completed now. So you can see a name, date, and this it is status of that task is also updated now. So this is the edit task that we written inside the JS script. So let me show you the code for this JS. So when we click on the edit task, right? Edit task, it will pop up this model, right? With initialized or task related information on which we have clicked, right? If we click on this edit one, so it will initialize all the detail like task, date time, it is status inside this model. So we can just select a, we can update any one or all fields of this record and click on save to update this record, right? This is how it is working in the background. Now what if I want to delete any record? So let me delete this second record. So when I click on this delete button, so you can see here, right? Task with ID 2 is deleted now. So nothing but it is just calling the same REST API that we written in the REST endpoint. You can see here, it called same API, get API, then delete API, whichever we deleted, put API that we just updated the task with ID 6, right? So it is actually calling the same REST endpoints that we created from the browser through the JS code that we written inside this JavaScript code. So this is our complete application with the Swagger view, right? So let me also go through with some other aspect of this application. So test cases, right? So I've created only few test cases, so you can add or create some other test cases for the post API as well and update this application. You are welcome to raise a PR for this application. If you want to copy all this and paste it here. So if I run, you can see here it has only 3 test cases and all are executed completed the pass status. So this is the test cases. Now some other things. This is a Docker SOM file for creating this application inside the Docker, right? So I've already added this all the commands inside the README file. You can just go through or download this repo from my GitHub page. And yeah, so this is the to-do application. All the suggestion, optimization are welcome, very welcome in this application. You can just create a fork or raise a PR for this application, right? So yeah, have a nice day. Bye.